Thanks for joining us. This is tplmedia.ca/local. And today we are talking about adventures you can make within just a couple of hours of major cities. And to talk to me about that and sharing some experiences, Paul Micucci, thanks for joining me. By the way, Paul, if you don't mind, I will do a shout out to one of our sponsors.
Thank you.
Personal safety starts with being prepared. Visit lesslethal.ca to explore innovative legal personal safety products designed for peace of mind. Lesslethal.ca. Be ready. Be confident. All right. Well, listen, why don't we do this, Paul? We'll share these because I made a quick list. I know that you made a quick list too of some of the adventures. And it's wild because as you think about these, you start to think about the history that you've had with your kids, with your own family growing up, and how special some of these places are. You know, they haven't changed all that much. So sharing them with your own kids or revisiting them, I think is a really kind of special thing to do. And families are having, let's be honest, economically speaking, politically speaking, it's a little difficult to justify traveling right now. Heat waves going on in Europe. I think people are making the choice to enjoy summer closer to home, but they still want adventure. That's why we put this together.
Yeah, no, definitely. And won't break your wallet, right? You can jump in the car, pack up. It's safe. It's close by. If someone does get sick or doesn't feel well, you can make it home in an hour or two, which does happen, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing
when
like
you have kids, you learn pretty quick to adapt.
That is so true. I have made the U-turn an hour into the trip before. No doubt about that. Have. But okay, why don't we do this? Why don't we start? Why don't you just outside of Winnipeg? Where can we go?
Gimli. So, and I forgot about. I actually forgot about it. Lakeside destination. Set on the shores of Lake Winnipeg. It has Icelandic heritage. So this is interesting, right? Huh. So it's a beautiful marina, sandy beaches. I've only been there once, I mentioned to you. And it basically, you can walk along the waterfront. There's summer festivals. So it's a cool place to drive to if you're in the region.
Sounds like there's something. What were you doing there?
Well, I was in the region, honestly. I had a triathlon.
Okay.
I was there for a triathlon. I also had adventure raced. I think I mentioned to you earlier in Brandon. So, and I wanted to give a shout out to them. Riding Mountain National Park.
Okay.
So beautiful. Went there. For those of you who don't know what adventure racing is, adventure racing was something. It's not as popular anymore. It was in my era. They used to give you a map and a compass, and you used to bike, run, canoe, and rappel.
And while orienteering yourself.
While orienteering yourself from point to point. And you had to do it in this sequence. Like you couldn't miss a place.
You had to hit like every sort of spot. Yeah.
Yeah. And check off that you had hit it and sign off. So it was a really cool thing. We did it for years. And but the riding trails and the wildlife. So when you're going through here, you're going to see bison and elk. It's really, really pristine, beautiful place. In those days, quite frankly, it was kind of funny because we'd be riding through the pass and we'd literally almost be slapping the bears in the butt as we were going because, quite frankly, as we were moving through and we were hustling because the bears would be over there and you'd see elk. It was really beautiful.
Wow.
But unfortunately, we were moving so fast we had to keep our eye on the ball.
Right.
Unless we were trekking, and then you'd stay away from the bears, of course. But yeah.
So it's so interesting that you point this out because as you leave Ontario, you make your way into Brandon on the way to Brandon. That scenery is very interesting because you're leaving highlands and it seems to be doing this. There's like, I guess, sort of a drop off. It almost feels, and you pointed this out, it almost feels like you're leaving the land and going and getting closer to sea level, which is really what's happening.
You're rolling. Now you're rolling, right?
There's many rolling hills. I would imagine the topography for riding or running or adventuring was pretty intense.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. On the climbing against it, quite frankly, you had to climb for, it's think about your treadmill where you're on a 2 or 3 degree incline.
Yeah.
And you got to go 20 miles at a time. And so, which is truthfully, I did better in that environment because on the bike, I was a good climber. So quite frankly, the harder the course would be, the more climbing we did, the better I would do. It's the courses that
20 clicks on an incline is a heart attack maker in my head. But some people, this adventure racing, I would imagine it's going to make a comeback. And the reason that I think that it probably will is because, once again, people aren't traveling all over the place.
Yeah.
We want to engage in more fitness. We want to engage in longevity. And these are the ways that you do it. I mean, sure,
Yeah.
you might break a bone along the way, but the prep, I would imagine, leading up to that, the working out that you needed to do to get yourself fit to do it.
Yeah. And we rent, if you get a chance, you can rent a motorhome. So we started off doing it. We rented a motorhome for one season. We ended up buying a motorhome, rent a motorhome, and then, quite frankly, off we went. And, you attach your bikes, you attach your barbecue, you'll have a blast. You just,
Well, camping, I think, is on the, speaking of incline, it's on the incline right now in Canada, and which is fantastic. I think that's one thing the provinces have done really well is maintain what they do on a provincial park level. It's a big deal here in Canada.
Yeah.
And then now we're actually hearing more about them and what they're doing to bring people closer to nature. Just a little outside of Regina, Buffalo Pound Provincial Park. Now, this is special. This is a special park. It's about an hour away from Regina. So if you're from Regina, you've been there. But
yeah.
If you haven't, man, you really do need to go. Buffalo Pound Provincial Park is all about the hiking. It's all about the trails and camping and paddling. It is one of the most beautiful prairie landscapes. And when you talk about bison, you are definitely going to see the bison herd there. It's kind of it's the ideal weekend escape for Saskatchewanians. Is that how we say that?
I think how you say it. I just bought a new kayak. So if I'm down in the region, I'm taking my kayak.
How do you like it?
I love it. It's a tandem, so I'm enjoying it. It's a new one in my gear.
Yeah, but tandem is great because if you're in the back, you can just keep saying, "Come on, help me out here," and it's hard to look back and see you're not paddling. Other ideas in the area, of course, you can visit Moose Jaw, which is always a beautiful place to visit. You've got it almost feels village-like still for a big city. There's the water parks and stuff around. Last Mountain Lake, Castle Butte. I passed this this is on my list.
Okay.
But once again, beautiful lookout, the ability to see the prairies through the eyes of, 6,000 years of indigenous life in this area. And you can take a look back and think, wow, this is ancient. This is ancient and it hasn't changed.
No.
So that's a fantastic stop. Rowan's Ravine Provincial Park, absolutely stunning.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the flowers, wildlife, aviary, people who love the butterfly, appearances throughout the season will find this area to be wonderful for them. And I would recommend absolutely take 3 or 4 days, like you said, maybe camp for a couple, do a hotel for a couple, and just feel the area, enjoy the village, enjoy the area, and reach out and enjoy the wildlife.
Indigenous, you mentioned the First Nations. So another thing to do, and keep an eye on it, because you're coming up to what they call powwow season.
Yeah.
So if you get a
Absolutely.
chance to take your kids and actually watch one, because it's really cool, and they'll learn a lot. It's very good, very
Very
interesting.
interactive, by the way.
It is, and
Yeah.
there's dancing and singing, and quite frankly, they take you through their background, their heritage.
Absolutely. And the food is incredible. It's a lot of fun, very welcoming in these communities. If you're in Ontario, French River has one that is incredible. But you're right. This is a really good piece. And as we're doing this, we just finished Indigenous Recognition Month here in Canada, where many of these beautiful areas have been highlighted. Just outside of Saskatoon, just literally outside of Saskatoon, by the way. So if you're visiting Saskatoon, that's part of your adventure for the summer. If you are planning a trip to Saskatchewan, Waniskewen Heritage Park, just a few minutes outside of Saskatoon. Here's the thing. See, and I mentioned this before, 6,000 years. I just wrote this down. 6,000 years of Indigenous history on the Northern Plains.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Oh, you're in the heartland.
It's really the
Really.
heartland
Yeah, it is where
of Canada.
a lot of it started, right?
Blackstrap Provincial Park. You're going to want to have a look at that at least as one of the options in the surrounding area if you're touring through.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a local to Saskatoon, you probably have already visited. You want to get back to this provincial park. It's absolutely a great, by the way, it's a great place for families to gather. If you're having a family reunion, they have the facilities for it. You can camp and make it a day trip.
Yeah.
They have the ability for you to set up and barbecue and experience wildlife as part of a, even if it's a corporate gathering, a church gathering, whatever it is, this is one of the locations you might want to think of for that. And of course, Beaver Creek Conservation Area, another gathering point for many festivals and fun. But you can just go and enjoy for the day like a family as well.
Beaver Creek.
Beaver Creek.
Yeah. Go take your kids to see a beaver dam. They'll love it.
Yeah. And by the way, if you want, you can put the kids in with the beavers to swim. Not recommended?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
What I will do is ask you to recommend some places to us. In the comments, don't hesitate to let us know what we missed, highlight stuff that we missed. That's what this is about, is interaction. Get out and enjoy some adventures, just a few minutes, maybe a couple of hours from home. Save a few bucks and enjoy your summer. Thank you for joining us. Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Mike.